Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all of you. First of all, on behalf of MQA, thank you very much for spending your time here together with us. And also, I was being informed not only the Malaysian delegation that's coming to Dubai, we also have our Facebook viewer especially from Malaysia and also from other part of the world. And of course, I think most of us are Malaysian, so I'm not going to spend more time to explain to you what is MQA is all about. I think it would rather for me to explain the new agenda, the new era of MQA for the next few years. I think that's more significant for us to understand, because I don't think I have some time to spend with most of the IPT, both public and private in Malaysia, because due to the pandemic COVID that had been hit the country since 2020. March 2020. Okay, this is basically I was being given like 30 minutes to spend the time with you guys to explain about what the MQA is all about and what is the future direction of MQA. So all those basic information, I think most of you who are coming from Malaysia, so you already know all this. These are the things that have been captured. We have about 16,000 courses program that had been going through MQA accreditation. So those who are having within that 16,000 courses, you have no problem in terms of getting accreditation and endorsement, both international and also locally. Okay, this one I think you can read, and this is a very basic thing, but I want to spend more time on this thing. This is a new thing. I took over as a CEO from February 2021 till 2024. So this basically the agenda that we're going to direct MQA for the next few years under the umbrella of MQA Global. So this is also the main agenda why we are here in Dubai. So one of the things that we are going to do here is basically to help the country, to help the Minister of Higher Education to make Malaysia as the global hub for education. So the thing that we are here, just besides saying what's happening here, one of the significant agenda that we're going to do is basically try to engage with any accreditation body that's coming to Dubai so that they can somehow giving a recognition or endorsement, all the certificate or academic qualification that have been issued by both public and private university in Malaysia will be accepted at their own countries. Because at this particular time, we do have some cases that's happening, especially in this country, there are few universities from Malaysia that not being accepted by the government and also some of the agency here. So our job basically try to solve the problem so that the agenda to bring back at least 250,000, as been mentioned by the Minister of Higher Education, to Malaysia will be achieved for the next few years till 2025. So that will be match with the agenda to make Malaysia as the global hub of education. So that is a big challenge for us. I think those who are coming to Dubai, they have to work hard so that the agenda to make Malaysia as one of the most attractive place for the student to further their study, especially at the higher level to Malaysia, so that the agenda will be achieved. And also we are going to introducing the flexible education. So at this particular time, I do have some slide talking about the flexible education, mainly APEL, but in here I was saying about micro-credential. We haven't started yet, but we have already introduced a lot of higher institution, especially private institution back home in Malaysia. They are really aggressive want to offer this program because they see micro-credential is one of the most prosperous project or prospect in the future. A lot of demands. So I think I would encourage all IPT, IPTS, both public and private, to engage with micro-credential. We do have micro-credential standalone and also the one that existed. So that one can be further discussed later on. And this mutual understanding on recognition, this is one of our agenda when we're coming to Dubai. So unfortunately, we do not have so many accreditation body that are here. So we do have fines. Yesterday we got from the UK, and we tried to engage some from Argentina and then also from other part of the world. So the agenda basically, we want to sit together and we want to have a mutual agreement and understanding, a written agreement saying that all the program that being produced by Malaysian higher education, it doesn't matter whether it's coming from private or public, those who are being accepted by MQA, then when the student coming back to their own country, they will have no problem. So either transfer credit, mobility program, or even getting a job. At this particular time, you do have some problems from some other part of the world, especially in the African country and also in this Middle East. They do not recognize some of the universities back home. For whatever reason, we're not really sure, so that's why we want to find some answers. But once we have this mutual recognition on the quality, we do hope that problem will no longer exist in the future. So it's very important because we want to be the global hub of education. If some other country will not recognize our degree, our certificate, our diploma, that's going to be somehow hiccup the agenda to achieve the purpose of being Malaysian as a global hub of education. So we try to do our job, and then hoping by once the pandemic is getting away from us, we want to have a physical face-to-face discussion, face-to-face meeting. So I think we have engaged virtually with France, Germany, Canada, and US, Australia, and also we try to come up, as far as to the north, south, and in the east. So that once day in the future, we are expecting for the next few years, when we have a world map, every single part of the world, you're going to see MQA flags. So when you see the MQA flag in that particular country, then you are going to have no problem at all to show your certificate, academic qualification, both either diploma, certificate, master's, PhD in that particular country, and you are no longer having problem whether they're going to accept or not in terms of getting a job and so on. Okay, assessment on Malaysian higher education abroad. So what we are thinking here, of course, we do have MQA, and a lot of people know what is the job of MQA, taking care of the quality of higher education. But at this particular time, we want other agency coming to Malaysia try to assess us whether we are good enough stand at the international level. So basically what we are doing at this portion, basically we are inviting accreditation body like from the UK NERIC, UK or UNIC, and then TESCA from Australia coming to Malaysia, and then we're going to assess MQA whether our quality is reaching the international standard or not. Once we reach to that particular level, then it will be easier for us to be accepted by the world. Okay, these are the new product that we have been introducing to the Malaysian society. Of course, now we are going abroad. We go to beyond Malaysian land. So we do have this appel based on your experiential learning, so working experience and so on. So we do have, at this particular time, we have like 3 types of appel. So we have appel C, and appel Q. Appel Q is the latest one. We do have the latest one coming soon. Appel M is a micro-credential. But what appel A is all about, we are taking your working experience. For many, many years before, we convert that working experience as a ticket for you to enter the universities. Of course, the way that we are doing now, we are using a conventional way. We are using your high school diploma, high school examination as a mean or as tool to go to the universities. But under appel A, you do not need to have those. If you didn't have a chance before to go to school, for whatever reason, but you do have a lot of working experience, what we can do is to convert those experience and then match with the program that being offered at a particular university or colleges, and then you can be accepted based on that experiences. So when you're being accepted, then you can follow at the normal regular basis, year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4, and then finally you can graduate. But the most important thing, using appel A, using your experience as a ticket for you to go to the universities. Appel C, basically same concept, but instead of getting as the entrance point, they are using your working experience as a credit transfer. Say you have like 10 years working experience in industry, for example. So having those 10 years experience, making some assessment, and then we could find maybe it's equivalent to 10 credit hours, maybe 30 credit hours, maybe 20 credit hours. Let's say in diploma back in Malaysia, you need to have 90 credit hours. So if you have already 30 credit hours using your working experience before, so you only need 60 credit hours to finish your diploma. So in other way, instead of spending 2 years, you probably need to spend only 1 year. So, and sometimes people combine appel A and appel C. So they are using the working experience to go to the universities and then using the same experience as a credit transfer. So they go to the university without having the conventional way, and then they shorten the period of study because of they have managed to get credit transfer. So the maximum credit transfer that we will allow using APLC is 30%. The latest one that is more interesting, more attractive to the people, especially to the businessmen, politicians, whatever that we have outside, is APLQ. So APLQ, you do not need to attend any classes per se. So you are being given directly whatever that you deserve, like diploma, degree, master's, or doctorate program. But of course, it's not just simply, oh, I have the experience and therefore I need this. So you need to have certain process later on. But again, APLQ, you will get the academic qualification. They're going to award you right away without having through, like APLA, you have to attend classes. And APLC also, you still need to attend classes like regular student, except APLC, you reduce the time frame because you have been accepted certain credit hours, but APLC, you enter using the non-conventional way. These are the things that you need to, okay, this is the time frame for APLQ, the one that I was saying before. So if you have the experience, a certain experience later on, you're going to see how many years. So diploma, degree, and master and doctorate. So without conventional academic qualification. So some people, they do ask us, okay, I do not have any diploma. Can I do my doctorate? I do not have any masters. Can I do my doctorate? In this particular concept, we do not want to know whatever background that you have. As long as you have the working experience and you meet certain criteria I'm going to explain later on, then you can be considered, allowed to have all this degree. So the thing that you need to do, basically, all this. Okay, this is number one, the basic criteria. This is the number of years that you need to have in order to be eligible for APLQ. So if you have been working for 10 years, then you are entitled to be considered. I'm not saying you're going to get right away, to be considered to get a diploma. Regardless whether back in Malaysia you have SPM or not, STPI, we don't care. We don't even want to know your history, your academic history. So as long as you can convince us that you have 10 years working experience, then you may entitle to get diploma. 15 years degree, 20 years master's, and 25 PA doctorate program. So these are the time frames. So those who are interested to go for APLQ and you are shooting for at certain level of academic qualification, look at those years and then see what you can have. So if you have 10 years, then you might be given diploma. If you have 20 years, you might be given masters and you might be given doctorate if you have 25. Okay, so I know some people might be like skeptical. I mean, like this masters, PhD, whatever we call it, are they going to be accepted by the government or by the world? The answer is yes. Because this one, not the one that you can just go at the end of the corner and pay like $10,000 and then you get your doctorate in 1 week. They have to follow certain quality standard accepted by, of course, by MQA and also by other part of the world. Because not only Malaysia is doing it, the US is doing it, some other part of the world is doing it. So this is the process that you need to do. Okay. So as I said earlier, it's not just simply, okay, you have the 25 years working experience and therefore here, take it, your doctorate. No. Number one, you need to pass through this so-called portfolio. So what portfolio is all about, basically, it's not in detail, roughly, during this short period of time, you need to show to us that you have 25 years of working experience with all those proof documentation and so on. And of course, that portfolio is so significant because we need to match with the program that being offered by a particular universities. For example, let's say you have 30 years experience in public relation, so-called. And then let's say we identify one university that having the same program, doctorate in public relation. So we are going to match your portfolio, so-called the experiences that you have for the last 25 years with the program that being offered by that a particular universities. So we're going to match page by page, program, courses by program, and most likely is going to match like a mirror thing. Because 25 years experience, basically you are covered everything related to PR. So let's say you pass that exam, that stage. So your portfolio and the program that being offered by a particular university in terms of public relation is mass. So then you pass that level. So the second one that you're going to pass is challenge test. Trust me, if you pass the first one, you have no problem for the next one. That is so easy. Because the challenge test is just like try to confirm whatever that you declared in the first stage is happening there. Let's say I have been working for PR at a particular company for 30 years, 25 years. So one of the challenge tests that we can go is, we just come up with a certain type of question and then ask you related to what you have been doing at that particular company. So knowing that 30 years experience, I don't think you have problem to answer that question. Based on our experience looking at those who are attending or going through all this appel queue at the doctorate level, is so simple. It's just like 1 + 1 = 2. Seriously. Okay, so let's say you pass that one. The second one, the third one you're going to go is like field trip. So this one is like we go to the field, we want to make sure is that really happen. Let's say you have been working with a particular company A for 30 years. So what we're going to do is basically we go to that company and asking, let's say Mr. Ahmad declared that he had been working there for 30 years. So we just asking, you know this guy? Yeah, what's this guy doing? We just somehow try to translate what you have shown in the first one, and of course the challenge test, and it's just like confirmation thing on the ground, at the field. So normally if you say the truth on the first one, and the second one is already being confirmed by the examiner, and then the third one is basically it's nothing because you were there for 30 years. And definitely people know what you are doing. Okay? So the last one is, this is what we call capstone. So this is a little bit difficult. You need to write sort of like a small thesis, not really thesis, but just a thesis, okay? So you have to write. Of course, it's being guided by the universities. So a lot of people saying they don't have time because they are businessmen, they are politicians. So we are giving them some flexibility so they can hire few research assistants. So they can just, explain to research assistant what's this, what is that, the theory here and theory there. So research assistant will help them to write using the academic format. You have to pay them, but it's up to you. You want to pay more, whatever. Average rate that I have been told by many universities between 1,500 Malaysian ringgit to 2,000. You can hire 1, 2, 3, 4. Some people, they hire 6. Some people, they hire 2, depending. If you want to get it done fast, you might want to get it more people to help you. So once you get all this done, then we're going to have the Viva. So that one is basically, as I said, having 30 years experience, I don't think you have problem to answer the question. Based on my experience, looking at the Viva for this appel queue, I think the people who are asking the question basically do not know the answer compared to the student or the people. Because there are, like if you are, let's say you are a politician for the last 30 years, I think you know more theory about politics compared to the professor at the university. So that's the beauty. So these are the one that being highly requested by many people. So we are working very hard at this particular time. We do encourage many university back home to apply for Appel A, Appel C, or Appel Q. Those who already got Appel C, you are entitled to apply Appel Q. So at this particular time, we only have 6 universities that having the Appel Q, but we do encourage more universities to come forward, take the opportunities, because 60% of Malaysian population, they are entitled for this one. We are not counting the world population yet. We are saying 60% of Malaysian, we have 32 million, 30% of them entitled for this one. If you are counting the world population, the demand is even higher. So if you are looking for making a lot of money, and this is the channel. So take the opportunities. Okay, so back home we're going to have this tour to all the universities, both private and public, to explain to them the opportunities, the flexibility, when we do hope that they grab the opportunities. And then if we have all this combined together with other program, then the agenda to make Malaysia as a global hub education will be achieved. Okay, I think that is basically the 30-minute thing that I need to share with you. So if you have some question later on, you can go to our website and then you can see more detailed information. If you have some question, everything, you can just email us or WhatsApp us, whatever. Then we can respond to you immediately. So thank you very much. And then I don't think we have a Q&A. So this is all the latest pictures that we take yesterday. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum. Salam sejahtera.